4 hours ago today, the president tweeted this about the deal negotiated by Senators Lamar Alexander and Patty Murray. Quote, "I am supportive of Lamar as a person and also of the process, but I can never support bailing out insurance companies who have made a fortune with Obamacare." All this comes after he touted the plan as an interim solution to the problems of the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. But here's what he also said just a little while ago.
We're going to see the bipartisan, and Lamar Alexander's working on it very hard from our side. And if something can happen, that's fine. But I won't do anything to enrich the insurance companies, because right now the insurance companies are being enriched. They've been enriched by Obamacare like nothing anybody's ever seen before. I am not going to do anything to enrich the insurance companies.
All right, let's bring in our CNN congressional correspondent, Phil Mattingly, and our chief political correspondent, Dana Bash. Phil, so where exactly does the president stand on this bipartisan deal? What's the reaction to his latest statements, which seem to contradict his earlier statements?
Yeah, no question. It's been a bit of a whiplash last 24 hours, and it appears by all accounts, either on Twitter or in his public statements, that the president is opposed. And what the president is opposed to is essentially the crucial component of this deal, the idea that money and funding, the same funding that last week he decided to cut off, at least on the executive branch side of things, serves as a bailout to insurers. Now, that's not exactly what it does. What these payments actually do is they go to insurers, and insurers use them to drop down premiums or help pay down premiums for individuals who are getting plans. And it's worth noting that inside this deal, Wolf, is an actual requirement that insurers can't, quote unquote, double dip. They can't raise premiums while also taking these subsidies. So in talking to Senator Lamar Alexander, the Republican co-sponsor of this bill, he says the issue right now is trying to kind of educate the president, more or less, let him know what's actually in the deal. The reaction on Capitol Hill is not unlike our reaction, which is whiplash. Seemingly, the president was behind this yesterday, and that is a crucial component of this, because if this bill, Wolf, or if this idea ever wants to move forward in any capacity, whether as a standalone bill or as part of some other vehicle, it would require the president essentially insisting upon a vote. Right now, at this moment at least, it's very clear he is not in that place. And because of that, the future of this bill, no matter how much support Senator Lamar Alexander, Senator Patty Murray are able to get from their respective caucuses, there are real questions whether this has any life at all. And Wolf, we talked about this yesterday when this deal first broke. That's just the Senate. That's not counting in the House at all. I've talked to multiple senior Republicans in the House who have said very clearly and unequivocally, this is not something we want to do. The game changer would be the president saying this is something we're doing. As of this moment, the president is most certainly not saying that, Wolf.
Yeah, but he changed his mind overnight, Dana. He could change his mind once again as he gets more explanations from Lamar Alexander. But Phil makes an important point. Even if it were to pass the Senate, it looks like the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, he's not anxious to let it come up for a vote in the House.
Which is a large reason for the whiplash that Phil just described. I think when it comes to the president's public statements, there is definite whiplash, but in the sort of looking behind the scenes, the reporting that I've been doing, and I know Phil did yesterday, not long after the president made his statement saying that he supports this, what the bipartisan negotiators on Capitol Hill call a short-term fix for people who really need help from the federal government for their health insurance, to, saying today that he opposes it. We were getting calls from people behind the scenes saying, no. What really is going on here is that the White House is concerned about enriching the insurance companies. The White House is concerned that there won't be enough conservative support for this deal because of that. When you get into the details of it, the argument that they make is that what the conservatives got in exchange for putting federal dollars back into this pot for low-income Americans is giving states more flexibility on some of the Obamacare regulations. And what White House officials were saying yesterday, well, the states already have those, so we're not really getting enough. And it took until today, both on Twitter and in the soundbite you just played from the president, for the president to start saying that out loud. If you're Lamar Alexander, a very important chair of a very important committee who has been trying really hard to work on this bipartisan short-term solution and has been, according to Ted Barrett, our congressional producer, talking to the president, even this morning, feeling like he was getting there, certainly this is it makes his job a whole lot more difficult. It's already an uphill battle on the Hill, and if you have support from the president and then just seems to evaporate, makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, Lamar Alexander, the Republican from Tennessee, he clearly thought he had the president's backing for this 2-year interim measure, which the president spoke about positively yesterday, not so much today. Dana, the other